Next into the fish tank is a company that knows what it's talking about.
All right, fishes. I'm here today offering 0.5% of my company for $750,000.
Okay, so at these numbers, you're evaluating your company to be worth $1.5 billion. I'm in. Do we have a deal?
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your bro Taylor.
And I'm your bro Ryan.
And in today's video, we're going to be going over some of the financial risks we've each taken and ranking them based on a variety of factors such as how risky they were, how they turned out, did we make money, did we lose a lot of money, what was our overall experience with them, so that you guys can get a good idea of kind of our journey and some of the risks we've decided to take.
So I'll go ahead and take it away. And when I was just graduating college, within I think a month or two, I bought a house.
Uh-oh.
And so it wasn't anything like a fixer-upper. It was move-in ready. I already lived in the general area, so I knew what was coming. I knew where I like to go, the hot spots they were building, the prices for every rent, and I thought it was a little bit outside my price range. That was mostly the risky part. Was I literally just started a job, and my first full-time job. So going to the bank was a little bit nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
I was really young. I just graduated college. I had some credit, but no really deep credit score. And I went and applied for a loan or a mortgage by myself. I didn't have a significant other, or I had my girlfriend, but now my wife. But at the same time, at that time, I didn't have her on the mortgage, and so it was just my income we were applying for. And so it was a risk in making that application. Yeah. And once I got approved, I was like, oh, wow, it's real.
Yeah, you're in it.
I got to go make an offer. And when making my offer, I went right at asking price. I didn't try and do anything crazy.
Yeah.
I also didn't put any big contingencies in there, just the basic. And right at asking, they said they came back, I'm a top 3. Make my final and best. And I went over asking.
That's nerve-wracking right
Oh
there.
my gosh.
Final and best, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get one chance at this. So you don't want to go too low, even though you do want to save money.
Yeah.
You want the purchase, you want the house, and you've made it this far. So I made my final and best. I got it, obviously. And so we locked in, moved in the house. Took my girlfriend over and go, what do you think of this house? Oh, it's pretty cute. I was really hoping she wouldn't say it was ugly. And I was like, well, this is our house. We
That's
just bought
a risk
it.
right there.
Yeah, we just bought it because she had no idea. And that was how it turned out. And it's done very well since. It was turned into my first rental property. And at the same time, I got to live in it for a time period. Got it at a great time. Interest rates were nothing.
Yes.
And so a lot of ways that worked out. So I'm going to put that in my S tier.
Yeah. All right, and kicking off my list of risks I've taken, I'm actually going to go one from several years ago, was investing into NFTs. It's one that we both kind of got into. It may be on your list.
Next to yours.
Yeah. Is investing in NFTs, ones that were like, oh, the concept and everything. This is when, NFTs were like fresh on the scene. There was so much hype around them. We kind of did some research and like, oh, this one, if it works out how it says it's going to, it'll be great. The reality is they don't always work out how they say they're going to. So, I mean, we didn't invest any crazy amount of money into it because, again, we have a certain amount of reservations about it. Sure. Right. We're not complete idiots. So we threw a couple $100s at it, total probably. Yeah. And that was just pure loss.
Yeah.
There was no upside to it. The reward just wasn't what we thought it would be. Yeah. After selling it and everything, you're still in the negative. So for that reason, although, I mean, the experience, it was educational.
And exciting.
Yeah, to be fair. So, all that being said, I'm still giving it an F. Because it was just pure loss and a little bit of frustration.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I agree, and I'm going to do my quick ranking because I did a little bit have that experience. I'm going to go D.
Okay.
Because it was a little entertaining, and it was a little bit educational. So, for that reason, we had some win, but we lost all our money.
Yeah.
We've got zero of that back.
We didn't make the mistake again.
Yes, that's true. My next one I'm rolling into was almost a two-parter. But the first one was I was getting a project done around the house. It was getting a new driveway, actually, because the driveway just looked terrible. And I got a little bit of help or incentive from the city to say, get it done or we're going to fine you. So that's also why it got done.
Yeah.
But I went around and got quotes, and they were crazy. $12,000, $20,000, $15,000. And they wouldn't be out for a while. And I was like, oh, my gosh. Next guy, $4,000. And he'll be here the next day.
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm like, oh, my guy, this one's going to be it. So I took the cheapest quote I could find, and it was a huge gap.
Oh, yeah,
wasn't even
sounds like it.
close, and that turned out to be a mistake. It was a hassle getting a hold of this person. It was not a crazy reputable company, actually really not reputable much at all, just a guy willing to do it. He never showed up. It was always late, and he was supposed to do something, and he was like, well, the quote or whatever I wrote up doesn't have that in. And like, we talked about this in person, and he wasn't willing to do the permitting. I had to do the permitting. Based on that, you might be a little bit surprised at my grade.
Okay.
So I was between a D and a C minus. And the only reason was because in the end, I got a driveway.
Hey.
For $4,000 or $6,000.
I don't even know what you're complaining about.
So with that, since they weren't very reputable, there was actually 2 guys working together on this. And one of them told me to send the money to him via Zelle, which was another red flag.
Yeah.
And I should have been aware of it. And he ended up just running away with the money. And the second guy is the one that ended up finishing the job.
Oh.
And so that was an F.
Ooh.
That was a red flag I should have.
So did you have to pay the second guy again?
Yes.
All right, next on my list of financial risks that I've taken was asking for additional seller's credit after I'd already had my offer accepted when I was trying to buy my first house. There is some risk in that simply because they can say no, and now, you're out of luck if that's something that you needed. You no longer have an agreement anymore. So there's a risk because, they say no. It's like, well, they said no. That's the reality of what's going on now. So I took that chance because I asked for a good bit of additional seller's credit. To give you a bit of a backstory, when I first put out an offer on the house that I owned, I went slightly above asking, but I asked for a giant seller's credit. I think I asked for giant. It was like $5,000. And then went through the inspection period and everything. Some things came up, and I'll be honest, it wasn't $10,000 worth of stuff, but I asked for $10,000 more, and they said yes. I was amazed they didn't come back like, no, we'll do $5,000 more or $500 or just no. So pure win right there. When they came back with just a straight yes, I'm like, I didn't ask for enough. I should have asked for another 15.
That's funny.
I was a little greedy, and guess what? It paid off. So for that reason, it was a pure win. I'm putting it at an S. Again, there's risk, but it was pure reward for me. There was no downside to it. I was able to cover some of my closing costs. I was able to buy down my rate a little bit. All wins.
So my next one is going to be, honestly, I thought it was a pretty insane risk because I didn't know a lot of people doing it at the time, but was buying a fixer-upper.
Okay. Yeah.
And when I mean a fixer-upper, I mean it was not livable. It was, you had to gut the whole thing, start from scratch, and build it up, move things around, all new everything, new plumbing, new appliances, new electrical, everything, new roof, new windows, new doors, everything.
That's the one that you don't ask your wife or girlfriend how it looks because you already know you're going to get a bad answer.
And she did not like it when she looked at it. But it was a huge, big amount of work. I won't lie. It was a ton of work. And however, I thought it was a super cool experience. Super cool learning. I was like, man, this house is going to take a year plus. No, it didn't. And I was like mind blown because the people I was working with, they're like, look, if it takes over a year, you're losing money. That's all time you're paying the mortgage. You can't rent it out. You can't do anything with it. You're just throwing money at it. And so you can't take that long. And there was just so many lessons I learned from the people I was working with to just what you can and can't do with a house. I know what a load bearing wall was, but I didn't know how to identify them. Just so many cool things that I had no idea. And I got to see every ounce of it. It was an investment that I'll let you know. We haven't taken any dividends from it or anything, but it was a super cool investment property, cool learning experience. So for that, I'm going to go at least an A, and it could turn out to be an S.
Yeah. All right, next on my list is not near to that level, but kind of in line with it is I took out a loan to do some renovations on the house I bought. Anytime you take out a loan, it is a bit of a risk. And since I was fresh, just starting to pay a mortgage and everything, you never really know how that's going to come into effect. Because, with home ownership comes a lot of unexpected costs and everything from maintenance and all these little things beyond just the renovation that I took the loan out for. My house was livable, but it's not one you wanted to live in. It smelled. You probably remember it. It was yellow and just looked dirty. So new electrical, new everything, completely redid the kitchen, painted everything, new curtains, and basically all the cosmetics. Redid some of the outside
and
patio, all
I just
that.
want to make sure you don't downplay. you basically on one asset or one thing, you had two forms of debt.
Yeah.
You had like this loan for the refinance, or not refinance, but renovate, and then you had a loan for the mortgage. So it's a little bit risky in that manner.
Yeah, I was going all in though. I'm like, I'm already in it, but I'm still going to put it at just a C. It wasn't necessarily a positive experience, not necessarily a negative experience. I mean, the house turned out great. I like the way that turned out and everything, but I was debating between B and C, but I'll drop it down to a C personally.
Mine is moving to a completely new state, pretty far from my family, my immediate family, and starting a new job. But also buying a house in that time and looking long distance the whole time.
Yeah.
We were back and forth, but we ended up taking that leap, and I thought it was awesome. New area, new lifestyle, new everything for at least a little while, and met a lot of really cool people that we still talk to. Learned a lot. The job was awesome. Ended up meeting people there, and so all in all, I'm gonna say it was a good experience. I want to say A. That's what I'm leaning towards.
Okay.
Because I didn't put an S because it's not like it changed my life, and I wanted to stay there forever. But at the same time, I guess I was thinking of just the one move, but we have moved multiple times, multiple states. All right, I'll go S. You've convinced me. You convinced me. I've met a lot of awesome people.
Twist my arm.
I've had a great experience. So all in all, I'll say it's an S.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Those experiences can be real hit or miss, so who knows? Maybe people are like, yeah, you, or maybe you might be building up some resentment here.
Bonus lightning round.
But going right into my next one is investing into retirement. The reality is there's not a lot of risk there, but you are taking some of your monthly take-home pay out of your pocket and essentially diverting it somewhere else. So I'm going to put it at an A.
So my next one is letting my emergency fund fall to zero. In different times of my life, I've had something I was really focused on doing. So what I did is I basically just neglected or used all my emergency fund. It was a little bit risky, but it did work out. So for that reason, I gave it a B.
But all right, guys, going into my final one, we want to wrap up real quick, is simply getting an annual fee credit card. Mine, it was several $100s. It was a bit of a risk because if you don't use it properly, I mean, you're just losing money essentially, and then annual fee.
Yeah.
Now for me, it turned out pretty well. I got a good bit of points. I travel a lot. Despite that fact, though, there have been some negatives, some certain trends with this particular card that I haven't been the biggest fan of. So for that reason, I'm putting it again at the B tier.
So I know this was a very long video, and I hope you guys stuck with us throughout those. I hope they were interesting to learn and see where we ranked and some of the mistakes we've made, because boy, have we made a few. We could make a whole nother video probably on some of the crazy mistakes we've made and more particular situations if we wanted to go into more detail.
But hey, we've made some wins.
No, absolutely. We've got some S and A rankings for sure. And some more to share on that if you wanted. So let us know in the comments, as always, if you got anything out of this, if you enjoyed this type of content. You don't necessarily have to put really bad things that happen to you in the comments if you don't want to. That's absolutely okay. But by all means, share a win.
Hey.
Share a big win you had. We'd love to hear that too and cheer you on. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, subscribing to our channel because I know you already have, and liking and sharing all the other videos we have. Stay tuned for our next video next week.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
Did I even press record audio?
We've been doing nothing.
This is painful.
We've been doing nothing.
But we have it now. We have it now.